welcome to Gospel Piano Lessons for Beginners. This is Year 2, Lesson 43. Today we're going to be doing 7th chords in the key of D flat. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe and like this video, share it with a friend. We're going to be going through the key of D flat, like I said, 7th chords. We're going to be doing 2 brand new songs tonight to practice our 7th chords. 'Tis So Sweet to Trust in Jesus and How Many Times. If you haven't done so yet, jump over to our website, thegospelmethod.com. Get your free resources that go along with tonight's lesson. Just click on free resources at the top. You'll see here you can create a free account, download anything you like. Okay, there's lots of stuff in here. This is a lesson for tonight. Here it is. It's in the wrong spot. I'll move that. Year 2, lesson 43 is right here. You can download that to follow along with tonight's lesson. So let's jump right in tonight. We have the key of D flat, like I mentioned. We're going to review our scale. We're going to talk about 7th chords and how to build them. We do have full lessons on 7th chords back in Year 1. These are all archived lessons on YouTube as well as with handouts. You can check we have something called an index over on that free resource, and then you can see exactly where we talk about each concept. So if you want a really full 1-hour lesson on 7th chords, head on to Year 1 and you'll find we have quite a few lessons about 7th chords. But tonight we're just going to review 7th chords in D flat specifically, some of the ones you might come across, and then we're going to practice them in our songs tonight. So our D flat major scale, remember, is D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. We do have a lesson explaining some warm-ups on that as well. If you haven't seen that yet, that's Year 2, Lesson 41. Okay? And if you're on the chat tonight, be sure to say hi. I see Marilyn's already here. If you have any questions as we go along, put them in the chat, or if you're watching this later, throw it in the comments and I'll help you the best that I can. We do have a Facebook group as well, where you can ask questions, post videos of yourself, get some feedback. And the link for that is down in the description, as well as our Facebook page, where we have reminders and updates as well. All right, so what is a 7th chord? A 7th chord is a 3-note chord that has one extra one added in on the 7th note of the scale. All right, so if we have a C7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th note of our C scale is B. So to make it a C7, we're going to add a B or a B something in there to make a 4-note chord. So there's 3 types of 7th chords that we go over in this class: dominant 7th chords, minor 7th chords, and major 7th chords. Dominant 7th chords are the most common that you're going to see. That would be, for example, C7, A flat 7, right? If it doesn't have any letters beside it, just has the chord plus the number 7. This is the most common one. And what you're going to do is you're going to make your major chord, and then you're going to go up 3 half steps. Like this. Okay, so that would be C7, a C major chord, but you go up 3 extra half steps, and that's your 7. All right, I have an example here, A flat 7. So we start with our A flat. We go up 4 half steps, then 3 half steps. You can see on our list here, and that just creates our A flat major chord, and then we go up again 3, and that makes it the 7. So this G flat is what makes it a 7. Now we don't have to play it in this order: A flat, C, E flat, G flat. We could go C, E flat, G flat, A flat. As long as those 4 notes are there, it's still a 7th chord, and we're going to talk about that as we go down below. There's some shortcuts and easy ways to play your 7s while you're playing your song. So that's the dominant 7th. Minor 7th chord, we start with a minor chord first, and then we add up our 7. So the one we're going to see a lot tonight is a B minor 7. So start with your B minor, go up 3 half steps, 4 half steps. That creates our B flat minor chord, and then we go up 3 more to the A flat, and that's what makes it a 7. So B flat minor 7. Okay, so minor chord plus 3 half steps. And then the last one, the last one we're going to go over tonight is our major 7th chord. Now this one is more of a jazzy sound. We don't use it as often. I did sneak one in so that you could practice it tonight. But it's a way to add color to some chords that are already major chords. So the one I have tonight is a G flat major 7. So what you're going to do is create your G flat major chord. So 1, find your root, go up 4 half steps, and 3. So that's our G flat major chord. And then to make it a G flat major 7, see how it says M-A-J? That's why it's major. 7, go up 4 half steps. You can hear that one sounds more jazzy, more crunchy. Okay? So that's our major 7th chord. You can only make those on a major chord, so you can't make like an A minor major 7 chord. It has to be already a major one, just like our dominant 7th, okay? So dominant 7th and major 7th both start with a major chord, and then the minor 7 starts with a minor chord, okay? So let's go down to 'Tis So Sweet to Trust in Jesus. This is a pretty classic hymn. Hopefully you're familiar with it. I'll play through a verse and the chorus so you can hear what it sounds like, and then we'll go through and we'll go step by step on our right hand, adding in all those 7 chords, showing fingerings, options, ways to make it a little bit easier, okay? So tis so sweet to trust in Jesus and to take him at his word, just to rest upon his promise and to know thus saith the Lord. Jesus, Jesus, how I trust him, how I've proved him o'er and o'er. Jesus, 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 precious Jesus, oh, for grace to trust him more. All right, of course, there's lots of different patterns we can do on our left hand. I just did a little bouncy one there. But the main thing we're going to be focusing on tonight is our right hand, okay? So let's take a look at verse 1. D flat, starting in root position. 'Tis so sweet to... Now we're going to go up to our G flat major. Oh, that should say 7. Sorry, G flat major 7. Now remember, anytime that we add a 7th chord, we find the regular chord first. So think back to your inversion chart that we talked about in lesson 41. And G flat, we're going to play like this. So G flat is here in the middle, B flat and D flat. Now to make it a major 7, we could, do it in root position and then count up 4, like that. We could jump like that. But it doesn't make sense to jump from here up to there. So we're going to find our G flat major 7. Now the trick is with major 7 chords is all you need to do is take your root and go down 1 half step. And you end up with that F like we found up here, right? So G flat, again, if you were to play it in root position, all I have to do is move my thumb down, and that's a G flat major 7. Okay, because our G flat, we're still going to be playing a note down there, so we still have 4 notes. Okay, so if we're in D flat, all we got to do for G flat major 7 is go up like this. So D flat, F, and B flat. So it's G flat major 7. Trust, 'tis so sweet to trust in Jesus. Trust in Jesus. And then we're going to go to the next line. And 2. So our A flat is on the right hand. Left hand will play that C for us. Take. So B flat minor 7. How did we get there? First of all, find your B flat minor using your inversion chart. So we have D flat, F, and B flat. To make it a minor 7, find your root and go down 2 half steps. That's the shortcut. We could, we can count it up, and we'd end up with that A flat up here. That's the one that makes it the 7. But if I'm playing here, I could just, find my root, go down 2, add in that A flat. Okay, since my finger's already here, I don't have to drop my root. It's pretty easy to play all 4. So I'm gonna go D flat, F, A flat, and B flat for the B minor 7. B flat minor 7. Okay, so and to take him at E flat minor 7. So let's find E flat minor. Okay, so we have E flat, G flat, and B flat in root position. Now to make it a minor 7, again, find your root, go down 2 half steps. Oh, look at that, all black keys. D flat, E flat, G flat, and B flat. You could get rid of the E flat if you wanted to. You could just find your root, go down 2, like that. just to take him at his. Okay, so that's your E flat minor 7 right there. And to take him. And okay, so find your E flat minor, put your thumb down at his. Or you can play the E flat too, it doesn't matter. At his word. So A flat 7, find your A flat major chord. Go down 2 from your root, which is A flat, down 2. And you're going to add the G flat. So we have C, E flat, G flat, A flat. All right, so that's the whole song. I know it doesn't seem like it, but that's the whole verse. It just repeats itself again. So let's go really, really slow. 'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus and to take him. Where are we here? Do the root position. There we go. At his word, just to rest. This is the same thing repeated. On his promise, and to know thus saith the Lord. Now we'll go over to the chorus. Same chords, but just mixed up in different, variations. Starting with D flat. Jesus, G, up to B flat minor 7. So D flat, F, A flat, B flat. Jesus, how, E flat minor 7. D flat, E flat, G flat, B flat. How I trust him, how I've... And then if you see here, the second line of the chorus just repeats itself. D flat, B flat, E flat, A flat. How I've proved him o'er and o'er. Okay, except the last one has a 7, A flat 7. Now we're going to go Jesus. Now we have D flat 7. So find your D flat. Go down 2 half steps. So we can drop that if we want. Jesus, Jesus. That's D flat 7. Then your left hand plays the D flat. Up to G flat. Precious Jesus. And then I think we've had this before. Yeah, the last line of the verse is the same as the last line of the chorus. Oh, for grace to trust him more. So the concept is probably quite easy, but getting it in your fingers can take time. A reminder, because we are in the black keys, you're going to want to be up on the top third of your piano, okay? Because you don't want to be stretching, trying to reach those black keys, getting all twisty, okay? And then again, let's just go over, I want to go back up here for our dominant 7th chord. I want to show you guys these in C, just so that it's really, really obvious. So dominant 7th, again, you'd make a major chord and go up 3 half steps. Or you can just make your major chord and put your thumb, your root, down 2. Okay, so that's dominant 7th. Minor 7th, let's do it on A minor, really simple. Again, we could go up 3 half steps to the G, or we could go down, just take our root and go down, okay, to get the 7th as well, okay? So that's another way to do the minor 7. Just I know it's a little tricky once we get all those flats in there. It can get confusing. And then if we want to make a major 7 chord, we can make our major, like our C major, just take your root and go down 1. And it will get you to that same note. Okay? So just review that. Again, you can go back to year 1, and there's a little more instruction on the 7th chords if you need some help with that. It can get a little overwhelming with all these flats. Okay, so let's go really slow. Hopefully I said those all slow enough you could write them down if you needed help. But I'll do this real slow. I'll hold my chords so that if you do need to write down the letters, you can. So 'tis so sweet to trust, there you are, trust in Jesus, and then B flat minor, take E flat minor, him at his A flat 7 word, just to rest upon his promise, and to know thus saith the Lord. Chorus, Jesus, there's your B flat minor 7, says, how, E flat minor 7, I trust him, how I've proved same thing again. Him o'er and o'er. Jesus, there's your D flat 7, the F on the left hand. Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, for grace to trust Him more. All right, so it'll take some practice. It's almost all black keys, okay, but we can go through. Now you can add a little bounce if you like on the left hand, and the bounce we do go over in lesson year 1, lesson 18. So all we're going to do is we're going to bounce, whatever left hand note we're on, give it a little extra hit before we switch our keys, okay? Just give me 1 second. All right, so let's go through and add in our bounce, okay? So, 'tis so sweet to trust in Jesus and to take Him at His word, just to rest on His promise, and to know thus saith the Lord. Jesus, Jesus, how I trust Him, how I've proved Him o'er and o'er. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, for grace to trust Him more. All right, so that's Jesus. 'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus. In D flat. Again, some of the chords I added in. If you look in the hymn book, there is no G flat major 7, I promise. I shouldn't promise. I didn't look, but I'm pretty sure there's no G flat major 7. But, we can add it in and practice our 7s. The rule for minor 7s is basically any minor chord you find, you can make it a 7 if it's a traditional song. So a hymn, congregational song, that sort of thing. It usually will work. And then for our dominant 7ths, it's pretty standard. We can add it anywhere it has the 5th note of the scale. So D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat. So A flat is the 5th note of our scale. So you see here, everywhere I have A flat, I made it a 7. Almost. There's a couple I left. But that's some general rules if you want to start adding in your 7s into your songs. Okay, so that's 'Tis So Sweet, just a simple version. Simple. With just the bounce, we're not adding any rhythm or anything, but the left hand's pretty simple, so you can practice those 7s. So let's go down to how many times. This was the one I thought might be a little bit fun tonight, and this is the one that is going to be showing up in our premium membership. So this will have an intermediate version with a video lesson over on the premium membership as soon as that goes live, end of August, early September. Thank you again to all of our assistants and helpers from our Friday Night Lives, those of you who are helping us get the library ready. I'll talk a little bit about that after, but we're going to do the simple version tonight with the whole thing, and then there is going to be a more advanced version available on our membership. Okay, so this one, and if you're not familiar, I'll do verse 1 and the chorus. How many times must I prove how much I love you? How many ways must my love for you I show? How many times must I rescue you from trouble for you to know just how much I love you? Didn't I wake you up this morning? Were you clothed in your right mind? When you walked up on this problem, didn't I step right in on time? When you got weak along life's journey, my angel carried you so you would know just how much I love you. This is Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir, I believe. Really nice song. But we've got some 7s, and again, the intermediate, we'll have a little bit of rhythm, but tonight we'll just keep it straight. How many times times must I prove? We'll keep it simple so you can get your chords, get your sevenths, and feel the song, okay? So we're going to start with a D flat again. First one, root position. How many times? So for this D flat 7, you could play it like this. I have a D flat plus my this note right here. But you could also just take your thumb and put it down. Drop the D flat. That's optional. Okay, just because of the position we're in. So how many times, like that, must I prove, regular G flat, to prove how much I love you, and then G flat over A flat. How many ways, so this is the B flat minor, must my love, now this is E flat 7. Up above we had E flat minor 7. So for E flat 7, we're going to find our E flat major chord, regular E flat. Take your thumb from the root and go down 2. There's an E flat chord with a D flat added. That's a dominant 7th. The one above was a minor 7th. Okay, so E flat dominant 7th. Love for you I show. And then same here. You have your A flat. Take your A flat. Go down. Make it an A flat 7. How many? So D flat again. It's going to repeat itself for the first line. How many times must I rescue you from trouble for you to know just how much I, A flat 7, love you? Didn't I wake you up to the G flat? Wake you up this morning? E flat minor 7, all the black keys. Were you clothed in your right mind when you walked? So just regular A flat. Walked up on this problem. Add the 7. Didn't I step right in on time? Add the 7. Were you when you got weak along life's journey? Oops, sorry, E flat minor 7. It's all black keys. My angel carried you. Now that's B flat minor. You could make that a 7 actually. My angel carried you. Remember, anytime we have a minor, we could make it a 7. So you would know just how much I, A flat 7, love you. Okay, so that one again, really steady beat. Now this one has a bit of a rhythm. Marilyn says, I love this song how many times? And J. Marie's here. Hi, J. Marie. The rhythm on this is really fun. But for now, just while you're getting it, you can do just the bounce. And on a fast song, it will help. How many times must I prove? So we don't have to keep our bounces just for the slow songs. We could use this too. And I do want to mention, some of you might be like, oh, I wish I could play this, but not in D flat. You know, I like this song. So that's where the premium membership is going to come in handy. So if you are unfamiliar with that, again, we're going to go over to our website. And right now there's nothing available where it's not open yet. It's going to be opening the end of August, thereabouts. But there is going to be a thing down here under premium content where it's going to have a place where you can sign up for a monthly membership. Okay, and in that membership, it's going to give you access to the songs that we go over where I say there's going to be an intermediate one. That will be in there with a video lesson showing the next level of that song. It'll also have a library stocked with lots and lots of songs in all 12 keys. So for example, this one could be in the library with all 12 keys, and then you can just download as many as you like. Okay, so that's going to be happening in August. I cannot wait, and I'm very excited. You will be getting emails about that soon. We're just finishing up all the technology stuff on our side so that you guys can get access to that. Okay, so let's go over it again. We'll just add in a little bounce. How many times must I prove how much I love you? How many ways must my love for you I show? Trouble for you to know just how much I love you. right? So a lot of you probably thought when you hear that song, I can't play that, it's impossible. And if you look it up online, sometimes the chords look a little bit scary, but there's always a way to simplify it. And to be honest, this is even more complicated than it needs to be. You could make it really simple, you could get rid of all of the sevens, and you could play this song in the key of C without the sevens. It would be very simple, right? But of course, if you look things up online, sometimes they'll have, the most tricky way. Or it'll have like, it'll have the actual, what they're playing on, what they're playing on the YouTube, right? There we go. Let me just see if I can find this here. Yeah, so for example, if we wanted to add a little bit, I'll give you an idea of what would be in the intermediate. We'll add in some rhythm as well. How many times must I prove how much? We'll add in some extra chords, add slash chords, more sevens, and a love for you I show. And I'll show you how to do this rhythm. Must I rescue you from trouble for you to know just how much I love you? Didn't I wake you up this morning? Were you clothed in your right mind? When you walked up on this problem, didn't I step right in on time? When you got weak along life's journey, some nice chords, my angel carried you so you would know just how much I love you. Okay, so that's an idea of kind of what to expect in the premium. Is it'll show you how to do all that stuff and add in those extra chords and things like that. Okay, so that's we've got "'Tis So Sweet," a little bit simpler. How many times you can play around with the different sevens. You can play around with your rhythm a little bit if you do play by ear. We had a big lesson last week in my Zoom lessons, and we talked about playing by ear, and that lesson is going to be up in the premium membership as well. Excuse me. A lot of the ladies were asking questions about, how do I play by ear? How do I start? Do I have to be born with it? And all that stuff. So, there's playing by ear with rhythm. There's playing by ear with figuring out your own chord charts. Like, can I make this myself? And stuff like that. So, yeah. Why was I talking about that? Oh, yeah, because you can play around with the rhythm with how many times. So it doesn't all have to be reading, right? You can play by ear and read and mix it together. That's okay. That's good. Music is a balance of both. You don't want to be too much reading and you don't want to be too much by ear. You want to understand what you're playing, but also be able to hear and copy as well. Jane Marie says, I can't wait. Kaylee says, how advanced this is. I'm still not here yet, but hopefully I'll be soon enough. Thank you for making these live videos. And she sent in a super tip. Thank you so much, Kaylee. That's very kind of you. If you haven't seen it yet, we do have a playlist, Kaylee, with starting from year 1. And all of year 1 is in the key of C. And all of year 2 is showing the different keys of the circle of fifths. So if you're figuring out, D flat is like, there's black keys everywhere. Jump back to year 1. Those are all still archived on the channel and they are still free. So you can check those out and download all the PDFs for that as well. But yeah, we are getting into they say getting into the weeds a little bit. We've got 2 more keys left. We've got B and we've got G flat, and we have completed the entire circle of fifths. So this is incredible. If you do want to go and check through any of these keys, the way year 2 is set up is so that you don't have to do it in order. Okay, so they are, if you go to the index, you can see key of F, there's like 6 lessons. Key of A flat, there's 4 lessons. And they go, you can just pick a key and go through that chapter or that unit and learn one key at a time. You do not have to do these in order. The idea is that I do have some people who are playing in church already, and they don't have time to do the whole thing, and so they'll say, I have a song in the key of B this week, or that's a bad example because that's not up yet, but there's a key of F, And so they'll just look at those lessons so that they can be ready for what they need to play. But yeah, this is exciting. D flat, again, tried to keep it simple. I know on some of the other lessons I go a little crazy and add in, extra bonus stuff, but I know everybody, with all those black keys, it can get overwhelming. So just take it simple, right hand, use your inversion chart from year 2, lesson 41, and go through those. Next week, we're going to be finishing up the key of D flat, and we're going to be doing diminished chords and suspended chords in the key of D flat. And then we're on to B. All right. So I know tonight we're actually a little bit shorter than usual, but take that through. Take your time. Use your scales, and watch out for your email for the premium premium membership that's going to be coming very soon. And we're very excited to share that with you. So have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week.